Threads of invention, genius, and dogged curiosity are braided throughout human history. These strands weave together to generate the complex patterns of development that have shaped our contemporary environment. Some of these strands are more mysterious than others because they have been lost to the mists of time or are overshadowed by the wonders of the modern world. The tales of Automata, which involve the first rumblings of what will become artificial intelligence, are no less fascinating for that. It's easy to forget in this day and age of quantum computers and machine learning algorithms that our obsession with artificial life has ancient roots. In Automata, the first AI, we travel back in time to learn the fascinating story of how people originally toyed with the notion of creating artificial intelligence. The events of our story take place in a time long before the invention of silicon and computer code, when mechanical devices such as gears and levers were responsible for innovation. Their 9th century innovations would pave the way for a legacy that continues to this day, well into the digital dawn of the 21st century. Our adventure, however, really begins to beat when we meet the Banu Musa brothers, their pioneering spirit, and their brilliant automated musical instruments. In the infancy of the Islamic Golden Age, these early thinkers not only entertained courts, but planted the roots of a technical revolution that is still felt today. As we continue to explore this intriguing story, we will see how the human spirit has always been driven to create, to comprehend, and to push the limits of what is possible. Since the discovery of fire, clothing, shelter, community, to the earliest instances of stone tools, all of which simply made life easier for mankind, from the birth of the African drum all the way up to the most complex musical synthesizers, and as we go from mechanical mechanisms to abstract world of computation, led by luminaries such as Alan Turing, we shall see the birth of contemporary artificial intelligence. The first rumblings of automation may be traced back to the ancient human drive for knowledge and creativity. Each ancient culture brought its own flair and inventiveness to the development of the mechanisms and machinery that would become the mechanized marvels of today. The cradle of civilization and innovation. The Nile, the Indus, and the Tigris-Euphrates river systems provided ideal conditions for the development of modern civilization. These early civilizations relied heavily on agriculture, and their intricate irrigation systems necessitated careful water management. Examples include Egypt, Sumeria, and the Indus Valley. The first signs of mechanization were discovered here. The shaduf, a mechanical device for transporting water from rivers to fields, was first discovered in Mesopotamia around 3500 BCE. It was a clever device, but relatively straightforward because it made use of the lever principle. These pioneering thinkers harnessed mechanization's potential, paving the way for subsequent technical advances. Ancient Egyptian society also plays a major role in the contributions of many inventions that would go on to influence modern automated technology, such as the inventions of mathematics, geometry, surveying, astronomy, writing, paper, medicine, and the list goes on and on. Ancient Greece, a society renowned for its philosophy and art, provided yet another fruitful environment for the development of automated systems throughout the Mediterranean. Writings by legendary figures like Archimedes started to hint at the presence of machines and processes that can replace human work. The Antikythera mechanism, a complicated clockwork device from the 2nd century BCE, is one of the most fascinating examples. This ancient relic was discovered in the early 20th century, and its complexity has since astounded experts. It was likely an astronomical calculator that could foretell astronomical occurrences, attesting to the technological superiority of its day. On the other side of the globe, ancient China also saw a rise in technological advancements. During the illustrious Han Dynasty, from 206 BCE to 220 CE, an early compass called the south-pointing chariot was developed to help travelers get their bearings, even in the most treacherous of environments. Shen Kuo, a polymath who lived during the Song Dynasty, 960 to 1279 CE, recorded several examples of mechanized technology in his encyclopedic book, Dreampool Essays. Mechanical puppet shows and astronomy simulators propelled by water spheres called armillaries were among the wonders on display. The ancient Chinese had an interest in automation and a desire to recreate complicated processes by creative contrivances as seen by these technologies. These isolated cases of automation, which occurred all across the world and spanned several millennia, provided the groundwork for the creation of more complex machines and, eventually, artificial intelligence. They were evidence of people's intrinsic curiosity and will to solve problems and learn about the cosmos. We shall learn not only about the brilliant works of ancient minds, but also about the shifting intellectual atmosphere that gave rise to them as we dive more into this historical tapestry. Although the Antikythera mechanism is the only surviving example of one of the ancient world's most brilliant feats of engineering, it was by no means the only instance of mechanical genius brought forth from the ancient world. Inventors and craftspeople from a wide variety of ancient cultures created intriguing inventions and automata as a means of investigating various aspects of the field of automated devices or automation. Heron of Alexandria was a great engineer and mathematician who lived in Hellenistic Alexandria between the years of 10 and 70 CE. He is credited with creating a spectacular array of automata in the city, which was known for its vibrant intellectual life. The clever gadgets created by Heron featured doors that opened themselves using the force of the wind and artificial birds that could sing. His book, Pneumatica, in which he recorded these discoveries and provided insights into the fundamentals of air pressure and hydraulic automation, was titled Pneumatica. Heron's creations were not only decorative items, rather they were functional tools that found usage in places of worship, theater, and even private homes. His inventions illustrated how engineering concepts might be applied to automate mundane chores and provide entertainment for audiences. Ancient automata were used in a wide variety of contexts outside of ancient Greece and Alexandria, including in religious ceremonies and theatrical performances. In order to instill a sense of reverence and awe in visitors, statues and idols seen in religious buildings were sometimes outfitted with secret machinery that gave them the ability to move, make sounds, or present offerings. In a similar vein, ancient theaters were equipped with mechanical devices that increased the level of spectacle during performances. These featured theatrical props that could move or change appearance, which enchanted audiences and brought stories to life, as well as gadgets that could imitate thunder, lightning, and rain. It is vital to take into consideration the intellectual and philosophical atmosphere of the civilizations in which these technologies flourished in order to have a complete understanding of the significance of ancient automation. The emergence of automata was not only the result of random occurrences, rather, it was a representation of many ancient cultures' insatiable curiosity, creative spirit, and intellectual foundations. Greek philosophy and intellectual endeavors were accorded a high level of respect in ancient Greece, which was also the modern birthplace of the automaton. From the earliest instances of automation, ancient Greece was heavily influenced by the preceding major civilization, the ancient Egyptians, and not just in things like culture, architecture, and religion, but also in geometry and mathematics as well. And while Egyptian society was in decline and being dismantled, Greek society was starting to flourish. Plato and Aristotle, two ancient Greek philosophers, are credited with laying the framework for rigorous inquiry into the modern automaton by highlighting the significance of comprehending the natural world via the use of reason and observation. This intellectual fire extended to engineers and innovators like Heron of Alexandria, who drew upon mathematical ideas to build his automata. The Greeks' preoccupation with automatons intersected with their more general philosophical inquiries into the nature of life, the soul, and existence itself. The development of realistic machines sparked significant disputes about the nature of life itself, predicting the ongoing philosophical discussions that surround artificial intelligence in today's world. In ancient civilizations such as China and Egypt, religious and mystical ideas played an important part in the development of automation. The employment of automata in religious rituals was common, and they were frequently employed to portray deities or carry out other aspects of the ceremony. The spiritual importance that was attached to these devices was brought out further by these acts. The concept of building robots that might imitate live creatures brought together a number of different ancient ideas on the soul and the divine. The invention of automata was spurred by philosophical debates concerning the limits between the natural and supernatural realms. As we explore further into the fascinating realm of ancient automata, we unearth not only the brilliant inventions of long-vanished civilizations, but also important life lessons and fascinating connections that are relevant to our contemporary comprehension of technology and artificial intelligence. Innovation knows no boundaries. The most important thing to take away from ancient automata is the realization that invention is not constrained by either time or location. In spite of the huge gaps in time and space that separated these early innovators, they shared a common goal: to harness the power of machines in order to automate jobs and recreate life. This innate human need to improve upon existing systems serves as a timely reminder that human ingenuity, curiosity, and the drive to test the limits of what is currently feasible are constants. A golden period of Islamic knowledge produced three intellectual giants who would go down in the annals of automation history. The three Banu Musa brothers, Ahmad, Muhammad, and Hassan, are regarded as some of the most accomplished polymaths of the 9th century. They made important contributions to a variety of academic disciplines. They were very talented in a variety of fields, including mathematics, engineering, and the development of automated musical instruments. The intellectually vibrant city of Baghdad, which served as the epicenter of the Islamic Golden Age while it was under Abbasid Caliphate rule, is where the Banu Musa brothers were born. Their early lives are shrouded in mystery, yet it is well established that they would go on to become well-known intellectuals and innovators. Hassan, Ahmad, and Muhammad are well known for their contributions to the fields of mathematics and engineering. They contributed to the overall area of mathematics by translating and expanding upon the mathematical traditions of ancient Greece and India. It is a tribute to their technical prowess that they titled their book Automata, the Book of Ingenious Devices. Their work on autonomous musical instruments is perhaps one of the most fascinating elements of the legacy left behind by the Banu Musa brothers. They created and constructed intricate mechanical systems that were capable of automatically playing music. This was a breakthrough that would have a long-lasting influence on both the field of technology, modern recorded music, and the field of culture. Their automatic musical instruments were more than just innovations. Rather, they were the product of a synthesis of engineering, musical theory, and handicraft. These instruments were a demonstration of the complex interaction of gears, levers, and pneumatics, which resulted in the creation of enchanting songs and brilliant displays of hidden mechanics. Their work cleared the door for the creation of musical instruments that could play themselves, leading to the innovation of music boxes and self-playing organs, predicting the age of automated music that we now enjoy. The mechanical and mathematics methods that the Banu Musa brothers utilized were absolutely essential to the development of the automated musical instruments that they created. They developed and constructed their tools with great care based on their profound knowledge of mathematics and mechanics. These innovations required precise engineering with gear systems that needed to be properly tuned in order to create the desired musical notes and rhythms. In order for the brothers to achieve a harmonic and melodious output from their instruments, it was essential for them to have a strong understanding of geometry and mathematics. The transition to clockwork mechanisms. The world of automata underwent a dramatic shift throughout the medieval era, with the development of clockwork mechanisms serving as the sector's defining characteristic. This changeover was a watershed point in the annals of automation history because it brought a higher degree of accuracy and complexity to the mechanical devices that were in use at the time. Clockwork mechanisms gave a degree of control and reliability that had not been seen before. These mechanisms were propelled by complex systems consisting of gears, springs, and escapements. The accuracy of clockwork made it feasible to build automata that could perform complicated and lifelike motions. This gave engineers and inventors the ability to push the limits of what was considered conceivable at the time. The escapement mechanism was one of the most important breakthroughs. The mechanism regulated the flow of energy in a controlled manner, which allowed automata to move in a consistent and measured manner. This invention not only improved the precision of devices used to maintain time, but it also prepared the way for a new generation of animated creations to be made in the future. The use of clockwork mechanisms also entailed a mental shift on the part of the people involved. This represented a more in-depth comprehension of the fundamentals of mechanisms, as well as a developing curiosity with the dynamic relationship between gears and levers. This transformation created the groundwork for the construction of automata that could replicate not only the movements of biological beings, but also the heavenly dance of the stars, ushering in a golden age of technical marvel in the medieval world. Clockwork automata evolved as a monument to the inventive brains of the people who lived throughout the medieval period, which was a period that was a hotbed of creativity. During this time period, there was a significant leap in both the level of sophistication and the level of development of these mechanical wonders. The complex mechanisms of clockwork automata, with their many gears and motions that were precisely calibrated, were the canvas onto which medieval artists and engineers painted their fantasies. Animals that could walk, birds that could sing, and human figures that could execute sophisticated duties grabbed the fascination of both the upper class and the common people. The development of complex astronomy instruments is one example of a significant advancement. Orreries, astrolabes, and celestial globes that were powered by clockwork provided academics with the ability to recreate the motions of celestial bodies with an unparalleled level of precision. Not only did these instruments make the study of astronomy easier, but they were also displayed in places of learning and the legal system, where they inspired awe and respect.
Contrivances of every description.
In addition, craftsmen who worked with automata pushed the limits of their creative potential. Tabletops were made to be the arena for battles between mechanized knights decked up in gleaming armor, while mechanized minstrels performed eerie songs. The audience was enthralled by this newfound entertainment. During the medieval period, inventors' studios were not the only place where marvels of mechanical automata might be seen and experienced. These creative innovations had a wide range of useful uses in a variety of fields, and as a result, they influenced the development of medieval civilization. Clockwork automata were extremely important to the study of astronomy throughout history. Clockwork mechanisms were used to power astrolabes, orreries, and celestial globes, all of which were vital instruments for astronomers and academics. They made it possible to create accurate models of the movements of the skies, which aided in both the investigation of the cosmos and the exploration of the known world. These celestial automata were not only tools of trade for the scientific community, in addition, they were educational marvels. They shed light on difficult ideas about the cosmos, which made it possible for a wider audience to learn about the secrets of the universe. The intricate dance of the planets and stars, which was duplicated with the accuracy of a clockwork mechanism, captured the minds of both the students and the academics. The courts of medieval Europe became a source of enchantment for the world through the use of clockwork automata. Courtly meetings were elevated to a higher level of sophistication as a result of the addition of these mechanical wonders, which delighted kings, queens, and nobles. The mechanical animals, birds, and human figures, which were frequently decked out in ornate costumes, performed a wide variety of complex motions and gestures. The audiences at courtly dinners, theatrical shows, and festivals were fascinated and amazed by these automata, which played a vital role in the events. In addition, clockwork automata were utilized in the performance of religious rites and ceremonies. Automata that imitated the movements of deities or depicted religious tales were commonly seen in places of worship such as churches and temples. Inspiring devotion and reverence while also adding a touch of mystery and awe to religious observances. These gadgets brought a layer of wonder to the mix. During this time period, timekeeping was completely transformed by the accuracy of clockwork systems. The use of sophisticated gear systems and escapements to power mechanical clocks spread across society. Not only did these clocks serve their intended purpose, but they were also frequently ornamented with intricate automaton displays, which added even more to the cultural value of these objects. In the world of the Middle Ages, the appearance of clockwork automata had an impact that was considerably greater than the utilitarian applications to which they were put. These inventive mechanical achievements possessed a significant cultural importance, not only impacting art, literature, and society as a whole, but also changing people's perceptions of technology. Audiences in the Middle Ages were filled with amazement and astonishment when they witnessed clockwork automata. The lifelike motions and elaborate patterns of the robots sparked people's imaginations and piqued their interest in the convergence of art and technology. These technological feats of engineering become icons of the inventiveness of humans and the unbound possibilities of invention. The artwork, literature, and poetry of the time period were all influenced by automata. The lifelike movements and facial expressions of these mechanical creatures made their way into artwork created throughout the Middle Ages. They did this by blurring the distinctions between the natural and the mechanical, which can be seen in the works of painters like Leonardo da Vinci. This gave the art of automata an additional layer of depth. The fascination with mechanical timepieces known as clockwork automata made its way into medieval writing as well. Thematically, stories and legends that revolved on automatons that became alive or exhibited human-like characteristics were quite popular. The topics of artificial life, autonomy, and the moral consequences of creating sentient beings were frequently investigated in these stories, which served as an early prelude to subsequent talks on artificial intelligence. The use of clockwork automata as playthings was not limited to the upper classes, rather it was widespread throughout all levels of society. They were shown in public places like town squares, fairs, and public exhibitions so that a larger number of people might be exposed to their wonders. Because of this accessibility, the sensation of technical awe has been democratized, which has sparked dialogues about science and innovation among ordinary people. Clockwork automata contributed an air of mysticism and a sense of veneration when used in religious settings. They were included into religious rites and ceremonies, which enhanced the experience of worshippers through their many senses. The devout had a profound emotional response to automata that depicted biblical themes and the activities of gods, which further strengthened the relationship between technology and spirituality. Renaissance and Enlightenment periods experienced a rebirth of attention with automata. This is reflective of an age that was marked by intellectual curiosity and expanding technical discovery. During the Renaissance period, people once again took an interest in the mechanical toys known as automata. The intellectuals and innovators of the era found inspiration in the past, which resulted in a renewed interest in the development of realistic machines. The spirit of the Renaissance came to be personified by automata, which were both practical and aesthetic in nature. Jacques de Vaucanson, a French inventor who is famous for his inventive automata, is considered to be one of the most influential figures of this time period. His inventions included the flute player, a mechanical figure that was capable of playing a flute with amazing dexterity, and the digesting duck, a well-known automaton that seemed to replicate the process of digestion. Both of these works are considered to be among his most notable. The work of Vaucanson was a pinnacle in the evolution of automata since it reflected the confluence of art and engineering that was prevalent during the era. The automata that were popular throughout the Renaissance and the Enlightenment periods made important contributions to the development of early mechanical computers. The level of design and accuracy that was necessary for automata paved the way for the invention of early calculating machines and mechanical computers. The mechanisms and ideas utilized in automata played an essential part in determining the direction that computers would go in future. The fast industrialization, scientific developments, and altering cultural tastes of the 19th century all contributed to a period of significant change in the history of automata. This period was a witness to a transformational moment in the history of automata. The rise of automation across a variety of sectors throughout the Industrial Revolution had a significant bearing on the development of automata. The newly discovered accuracy in manufacturing made it possible to mass-produce clockwork mechanisms, which in turn made automata more available to a larger audience. This time period is significant in the history of automata because it marks the move from artisanal workmanship to industrial manufacture. The 19th century saw the rise of a number of renowned automaton builders who pushed the limits of what was possible in terms of mechanical innovation. Figures like Eugene Robert Houdin and Charles Babbage made an indelible imprint on the field with their contributions. Robert Houdin was a well-known magician as well as an inventor. He is most known for his elaborate automata which blurred the borders between magic and technology. Charles Babbage, a pioneer in the field of computer technology, is credited with designing the analytical engine, a forerunner to today's computers. He did so by drawing inspiration from the concepts underlying automata. In the 19th century, automata started to play an important role in the popular culture of the day. In both Europe and the United States, audiences were mesmerized by automaton theaters that featured mechanical characters. These automata provided amusement and spectacle by frequently acting out complex situations and executing various stunts. The interest with automata permeated into literature and drama, which in turn influenced the works of writers such as E.T.A. Hoffman and Edgar Allan Poe, who explored themes of automation, artificial life, and the eerie in their narratives. The move from mechanical automata to earlier computing devices represents a critical moment in the development of both automation and artificial intelligence. This confluence occurred during the Industrial Revolution. It represents the transition from the concrete world of pulleys and gears to the conceptual sphere of computing and logic. The landscape of technology underwent a sea change throughout the latter half of the 19th century and early 20th century as a result of the Industrial Revolution. The mass manufacture of automata was crucial in the development of more precise engineering and manufacturing procedures, which in turn prepared the way for a new breed of machines with the ability to do computations. The analytical engine that Charles Babbage designed is a significant illustration of this change. This incredible piece of machinery was conceived in the 1830s with the invention of carrying out complicated mathematical computations using a system that consisted of gears, cogs, and punched cards. Although Babbage's ideas were never completely realized during his lifetime, they lay the framework for modern computers and were far ahead of their time. Automata that imitated physical activities gave way to machines that were capable of manipulating abstract symbols and carrying out logical processes when the analytical engine was introduced. This marked a significant shift away from the world of clockwork automata and into the domain of computing, where the results were decided by the algorithms that were applied as well as the inputs that were provided. This change was not only technological, in addition, it ushered in a period of profound upheaval in our conceptions of what constitutes intelligence. Babbage's computer had the ability to do more than just crunch numbers. It could also handle symbolic logic, which was realized by early pioneers such as Ada Lovelace. Visionary ideas that Lovelace had regarding the analytical engine established the groundwork for the concept of a machine that could execute any intellectual endeavor, which is a concept that is important to the area of artificial intelligence. The visionary pioneers who established the theoretical and practical underpinnings for this game-changing discipline are largely responsible for the creation of contemporary artificial intelligence and owe a significant debt to them. Among these illustrious individuals, Alan Turing stands out as a towering figure due to the groundbreaking work that he did that brought AI into the realm of new possibilities. During the middle of the 20th century, the British mathematician, logician, and computer scientist Alan Turing made fundamental contributions to artificial intelligence, AI. In his key article on the computable numbers with an application to the interesting problem, 1936, he presented the concept of the Turing machine, which was a theoretical computational model that codified the concept of algorithmic computation. Turing's machine could simulate the operations of a human computer by processing symbols on an endless tape and carrying out specific commands. The development of contemporary computer science and artificial intelligence owes a great deal to the conception of this idea. The theoretical insights developed by Turing extended to the field of artificial intelligence. The Turing test is a criteria for detecting whether or not a computer is capable of exhibiting intelligent behavior. It was first proposed by Alan Turing in his work Computing Machinery and Intelligence, which was published in 1950. This test, which challenges a computer to communicate with a person in a way indistinguishable from another human, continues to be an essential benchmark in the field of artificial intelligence even to this day. A historical thread that highlights the progression of automation into the digital domain is the relationship between automata and early computers. The fundamental ideas and concepts that were derived from mechanical automata had a significant impact on the conception and development of early computer devices. The complex gearing and predetermined actions of mechanical automata provided a useful basis for the development of early computing systems. The accuracy of the clockwork and the interaction of the moving pieces in automata encouraged engineers and inventors to develop similar devices for the purpose of conducting calculations and processing data, which served as a transitional medium between mechanical automata and early forms of computers. The punched cards were first utilized for the purpose of controlling the operation of weaving looms. Later on, they were modified for usage in computing. Calculations were greatly sped up because of the usage of these cards, which enabled the entry and storage of data in a format that could be mechanically processed. The development of early computer programming was heavily influenced by the logical underpinnings of automata, specifically the capacity of automata to follow prescribed sequences of actions. The creation of algorithms, which is a key idea in both computers and automata, became an essential part in defining how jobs might be mechanized and calculations could be carried out. In addition, automata theory, which investigates abstract machines and the capacities they possess, had a direct effect on the development of computer science. The theoretical basis for understanding the boundaries of computing and what might be accomplished with machines was supplied by theoretical frameworks such as finite automata and Turing machines. The change from deterministic rule-based operations to programmable data-driven processes was characterized by the transition from mechanical automata to early computing devices. This shift is referred to as a paradigm shift. In the middle of the 20th century, technological advances such as the analytical engine and the punched card system prepared the way for the creation of electronic computers. With the invention of the transistor and microchips that made computers smaller, these electronic computers, in turn, ultimately led to the emergence of modern computing and artificial intelligence. The legacy of early automata continues to have a tremendous impact on the contemporary landscape of artificial intelligence, charting a path that spans centuries of invention, research, and technical advancement. The earliest attempts at creating machines with artificial intelligence may be traced back to automata created in the 19th century that attempted to mimic human behavior. Comprehension computation and control mechanisms, which are pillars of current artificial intelligence systems, need a comprehension of the core principles of automata theory. These concepts include finite state machines and algorithms. These early influences continue to affect today's development of AI technology in many ways. The inventiveness of the Banu Musa brothers, who dabbled in the world of mathematics, astronomy, and automated musical instruments, made an indelible effect on the development of automation and artificial intelligence. Their contributions helped pave the way for future advancements in these fields. Their expertise in areas like algebra, mathematics, engineering, and musical theory served as a precursor to the multidisciplinary character of artificial intelligence, AI, which pulls from a variety of domains in order to develop intelligent systems. The history of Automata includes important turning points that paved the path for the artificial intelligence technologies that are used today. The convergence of electronics, logic, mathematics, and computation was a defining characteristic of the path that led to the development of modern AI. A zenith of these earlier technological advances has been reached in recent decades with the development of machine learning, neural networks, and deep learning. One of the distinguishing characteristics of contemporary artificial intelligence is its ability to learn, reason, and make decisions. The progression from mechanical automata to self-adaptive algorithms illustrates that humans have not given up on their quest to build machines with these capabilities. As we approach the beginning of a new age in technology, there are opportunities, obstacles, and deep repercussions associated with the future of automated systems and artificial intelligence. Emerging technologies will likely play a significant role in molding the future of artificial intelligence. AI applications have already been revolutionized by neural networks and deep learning, which have made it possible for machines to spot patterns and make judgments with a high degree of precision. In the not-too-distant future, quantum computing has the ability to execute complicated computations at rates that were previously inconceivable. This might speed up the capabilities of AI to a degree unprecedented by mankind, and only glorious wonders in AI technology awaits. It seems unavoidable that AI will soon be incorporated into everyday life. AI will continue to alter how we live, work, and interact with the world in a variety of fields, including but not limited to robotics, autonomous cars, smart homes, and tailored healthcare. Collaboration between humans and artificial intelligence will become even more widespread, with robots boosting human talents in a variety of disciplines. The ramifications of AI for ethics and society are likely to be significant. Concerns around the loss of jobs, the potential for prejudice in computer programs, and the protection of individuals' privacy will call for careful deliberation and regulation. It will be essential to the development of AI to make certain that it serves the interests of all of mankind while causing as little damage as possible. Artificial intelligence is set to play a significant role in the advancement of scientific research and the exploration of space. Simulations and analyses powered by artificial intelligence are assisting researchers in resolving difficult problems, while unmanned rovers and spacecraft are penetrating further into the universe. With the help of intelligent machines, we could one day be able to solve the riddles of the cosmos. This is one of the many exciting possibilities that the future contains. The future of AI and automated systems will not be one of competition, but rather of cooperation. As AI develops, it will enhance human creativity and the ability to solve problems in novel ways. The collaboration between people and AI will propel creativity, boost productivity, and open up new avenues of research and development in the fields of science and technology. In this environment, which is undergoing fast transformation, the future of automated systems and artificial intelligence is dynamic and full of possibilities. It is a future in which human inventiveness and technical innovation intersect to form a society in which people and robots work together to address the major issues of our day. In this day and age of artificial intelligence, the road that lies ahead is fraught with unpredictability, but filled with possibilities for redefining what it means to create, to learn, and to explore. Automata, the first AI. Written and directed by Dwayne. Narrated by Myles Wright.